It's Monday night, it's 7:30 and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show, coming to you live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and of course on Switch Radio. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Sponsored by Boyle Sports, our principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club, our good friends at SAS Autos, our really good friends at the Bawdsey Labour Club and of course in conjunction with the Garrison Coffee Company. We're joined tonight with the one and only Chris Brown.
Good evening.
Mrs. Brown, really steady on. Mr. Sheen himself, Mr. Paul Hipkiss.
Good evening, all.
And, of course, Mr. Robe, there we have him, Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're okay.
And it's greetings from myself and our special guest tonight, the one and only Ian Rodgerson.
How rude.
Can't help it.
Good evening, Ian.
Evening.
Good evening, Ian.
I am. Evening all. Hello.
We can hear him.
Joining us on a Monday night. This is the Tilton Talk Show, as I say, we've got out live. And we're going to talk about your career and one thing or another and your time with us at the Blues. What you're doing now, blah, 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 blah. And where the hell you got them glasses from.
Off you.
Ladies and gentlemen, is dedicated to Jessica Pardo. Jessica passed away on Saturday, 23rd of January, following a short battle with a rare and aggressive form of brain cancer. She was just 18 years old. A fanatical supporter of the club all her life, Jessica lived in Warwick and came from a family of avid blue noses. Oh, blimey. The family are devastated, obviously. She's 18. And sometimes, football just doesn't matter, does it?
No. 18 years of age. 18 years of age. What? It's no age. It's no age. No age at all. Yeah.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Roger.
Awful. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, we all now know that the Blues are once again in the bottom three, and we've got a dogfight on our hands in 2021. More people watch this show, as you said earlier, Paul, than what attend the games. And to watch, well, I didn't get to watch that one on Saturday as I was otherwise occupied, shall we say. But, Paul, perhaps you can give us a quick summary.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with Wickham away last week. We played 2 games since the last show, and again, that was disappointing, and we just didn't show enough going forward again, really. I mean, I think Maxime Colling has to score that header, though, I must say that. And, if he puts that in, then it feels slightly better, doesn't it? And, it's the fine margins again. I mean, for me, I thought Bella should have had a penalty at Wickham as well. I thought that was a penalty on Bella at Wickham. So really, on another day, we could have nicked that 1-0. But I say nicked that when really we should be beating the bottom team in the league, comfortably away with the players we've got on the pitch and to choose from. Why he makes the substitution so late as well in the game. And he only made the substitution because Robert got sent off. I don't know, I was baffled. You got the kid Cosgrove that we've just signed who's chomping at the bit to get on and he doesn't bring him on. And yeah, overall, Wickham was a disappointment at a 0-0. And then, obviously, we got a Bournemouth on Saturday. I thought we were excellent in the first half until they scored. I thought we were outstanding. And like I think I said on the chat after, we have to literally score every time we go forward because the way we defend and the errors that we're making at the moment, we can't afford not to score because we'll just get outscored otherwise. And that's exactly what happened at Bournemouth.
Defensively, Paul, what do you think has happened? Because we were solid, we had a really solid defence, and now it's just a shambles. I mean, it's awful. It's terrible.
I just think it's confidence, Nick. I think as the season's going on, we're conceding more, and their heads seem to drop when we concede. But I'm not going to criticise their effort because I think the effort's there. It's just that we're making too many individual schoolboy errors, and it's costing us at the end of the day. And how many times has it cost us? I mean, you go back to Coventry and Clayton, and then you can go to, other times in games where individual errors have cost us so much throughout the season. And I've got to say as well, we don't get the rub of the green with the officials, and whether there's an agenda against us, I don't know. But
we all know that, Paul.
But for me as well, there's no leadership on or off the field. It looks like there's just no. Ian, you can back me up here. Obviously, when you played, you had Vince Overson, Trevor Matthewson. You had so many great leaders in that team, didn't you, that you played in?
Not just leaders, but warriors.
Say again?
Not just leaders, but warriors.
Well, yeah, you can go back to yesteryear and you can go back to different generations of squads that we've had and teams on the pitch. You know, and we've had teams full of leaders, but unfortunately at the moment there isn't anything from the top to the bottom leadership-wise, and that's the other problem. I think
that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need in the dressing room. You need characters in the dressing room. You know, when things are going bad, you know, it's the players. It's down to the players. You know, you've got to roll your sleeves up. You've got to, you know, you've got to head it. You've got to kick it. You've got to be difficult to beat. If your mate goes in to close, then you've got to close, and everybody's got to close behind you. You know, it's no secret. It's hard work. You know, but you've got to look in that dressing room for people, you know, to stand up and be counted.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Paul. I was going to say, you look around the dressing room at the minute, and it's just characterless. It really
the manager takes all the flack, obviously, and that happens in today's game more so than, you know, the players, and you know, and obviously I guess it's the manager, because he's the person who can get the sack that you can get rid of, and you can't just get rid of the players and sack them, can you?
Why can't we just simply play 4, Poxy 4, Poxy 2 and be done with it? Right? Why can't we? Why is it that Aitor Karanka, who I respect as a football manager, etc., can't grasp that Birmingham City always have been, and probably always will be a 4-4-2 team?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's frustrating, really, when he takes Hogan off on a hat-trick, you know, with 3-2 down.
I thought that was a strange one. Yeah, I thought that was a strange one. That was bizarre.
I mean, I was totally lost with that one. He's on a hat-trick. He's full of confidence. He's your goal scorer. And then you take him off when you go 3-2 down. He didn't get it. You could tell by his body language he wasn't injured. You know, so that is just totally beyond me, that decision is. I don't get that at all.
No. Totally bizarre.
Yep.
Ian.
Yeah.
How would you rectify this situation? Because, like, as supporters, like, nobody's happy now at the minute. Even I've gone into the doldrums, I must admit.
I've got to be honest. I haven't seen the Blues for a while. I mean, I think the last game I saw was when Zola was manager, and it was FA Cup Newcastle, Blues Newcastle.
Yeah. And I was watching it, and I just thought, you know, it was boring. It was, you know, I thought I could have played at centre half in Newcastle and not get a sweat on. You know, everything's played in front of the centre halves. It was easy for them. Head it and kick it. You know, one thing as a defender you don't want to be doing is running or sprinting back towards your own goal. And you know, the Newcastle centre halves just didn't get a sweat on.
But is changing the manager every 6 months the answer? Because I do think we need stability. That's what we need. And the frustrating thing is we have had it in the past, stability, you know, and we just press the self-destruct button whenever we get it. I.e. Rowett and in my opinion, Gary Monk as well. He brought us back together, didn't he?
Yeah, the self-destruct button was probably pressed by them to begin with.
Yeah. And, you know, well, I don't know. I think a lot of people now are calling for Karanka to be sacked, and you know, rightly so. It is a results business. I get that, and we're in the bottom three, and we are struggling. What he's doing isn't working, and you know, he doesn't seem to want to try anything different.
But are the players performing? Should we base this solely on what Karanka did? I mean, the players have got to take some sort of flack for that?
Again, Ian, there's only so much you can do as a manager, isn't there? Once them players have crossed that white line, all the preparation that you've done with the team all through the week is kind of out of your control to a degree, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah. That's when you need characters in the dressing room, you know. People like Vince Overson, Clark, you know, people would stand up in the dressing room and say, hey, hang on a minute, and start pointing the finger. You get back in, you get it. When we haven't got the ball, we're 2 banks to 4, and we're difficult to beat. And you know, whether you've got to, you know, grab someone round the throat and tell them that, you know, then, you know, that's happened in many a dressing room I've been in. And it's no secret, it's hard work, and you've got to be working hard on the, you know, in the training, and you've got to take that out on the pitch and be difficult to beat. Yeah.
And I just think, looking back through the season, I've already said it once, but, you know, the officials don't help us with decisions against us or decisions that should have gone for us that haven't gone for us. And also as well, for me, you know, the individual errors. We've made far too many individual errors this season as well that have cost us.
I think the frustration is, Paul, we can't blame Lee Camp anymore.
No, but we can blame Karanka.
Yeah.
And we do.
The amount of points we've thrown away is, well, it's quite scary, really. And to be honest, I mean, every single one of us, well, most of us,
that going back to that press conference when Karanka was announced, we were all upbeat and looking forward to it.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
We finally got a guy with a track record.
Yeah.
Some of the names that were mentioned, and ends up with Karanka, I thought, bloody hell.
Yeah.
And I'm mystified.
It sort of puts the death knell onto people's career, doesn't it? Yeah, coming to Blue.
Oh, yeah. But I'd never thought we'd be sat in the bottom three under him. Not at this stage of the season.
No,
I never thought.
No, but there again, I mean, look at managers. Look at Moyles. I mean, crikey, they wanted his head 12 months ago. It does happen. It does turn around. Well, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Sometimes if you stick with managers that are struggling, you do get rewarded. I mean, how long Sean Dyche been at Burnley? He was relegated, and look what they're doing now. They're in the Premier League every season now, more or less.
That's right. Yeah, he was on the way out at one stage. Yeah. I
could come up with a few more examples as well. So from what I'm seeing of Karanka, though, he does need to sort of change his ways a little bit. He seems to be a little bit stubborn in his ways, and. It's not working at the end of the day, and some of his substitutions are baffling. I've got to say that. And
some of the systems as well, Paul.
Say again, Nick.
Sorry, Nick.
Some of the systems, the systems are baffling as well.
Well, he's persistent with his 4-2-3-1, and that's fine. If it works. And we have seen it work at Reading away, and we beat Bristol City away, and I think the scariest stat that I've heard yesterday is that out of the last 42 games since we beat Barnsley away last February. We've won 6.
We've won 6.
We've won 6 games out of the last 42, and Karanka's won them all, yeah.
And we haven't even scored 6.
Not in one game.
No, thank God.
So that is quite scary, isn't it, Ian, really? You've got to be asked to be... You're asking to be in the bottom 3, aren't you, with that sort of form?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think... you talk about systems, it's all about players.
Yeah.
You have to get the players that are going to, you're going to have to be carried off that pitch, the amount of work rate they should be doing at the moment. And like we said, it'd be difficult to beat. And you might find that you might get a 0-0 away from home, and then you might sneak a 1-0 at home. And then all of a sudden you start to get a little bit of confidence, and it's a big pressure off the players' backs. But it's just hard work that's going to turn it around.
But for me, I've got to say, the biggest disappointment was Pedersen's volley not counting, because that would have been goal of the season 10 times over.
Great finish that was. Yeah.
And I was gutted after I did a lap round my living room table celebrating, and I've come back to the TV seeing the linesman holding the flag up.
Yeah.
But we scored. Say again.
Just about the level of luck we have, though, isn't it?
It is.
Oh yeah.
We can't go down in the year of the celebrating the Carling Cup and 30 years since the Leyland Daft. We can't cap it by going down, surely.
No.
Well, everything that's happened, Paul and Mark, has happened when there's a one at the end of the year.
Bradley James says, I don't know why everybody thought he was the Messiah. I was not convinced from day one. He took Middlesbrough up. Zola took Watford up. I'm all for giving a manager time, but it has to be the right appointment. You could give Mr. Bean time, since that's what we've done. Let's talk about the roof. More exciting news.
Brown, can you? Oh, my battery.
Go on. Plug your battery.
Can you keep your eye on comments for me, mate?
Yes, yeah.
Won't show any.
So, Ian, let's go back to the beginning then, mate. So you started your career with Hereford, I believe.
Yeah, I was a schoolboy with Hereford, but got to 16. I was about to sign apprentice forms, and they were struggling financially, so they didn't take any apprentices on that year. They didn't run a reserve team, so I ended up doing a plumbing apprenticeship. So, which worked out quite well actually. And I went and played for a local team. It was just a bit of luck, really, that Alan Ashman came to the club, and John Newman was the manager. He's an ex-Blue Nose, played in the FA Cup final. He signed me on for the reserve team on non-contract, and eventually they offered me a 2-year contract when I was 19.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then you obviously you came in on loan under Dave McCoy to start with in 1990.
Yeah, Dave McCoy. Yeah, that's right.
And and when you first signed, was it the old Dolly mixture kit?
No, it wasn't.
Or was that the
No,
season before?
that was later on.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay. So 1990, sorry. Yeah, we had the blue. Yeah, we had just the blue.
Mark 1?
Mark 1,
Mark
yeah.
one.
Mark 1,
Mark
yeah.
one.
That's what we went to Wembley with, wasn't it? The Mark 1
Yeah.
kit,
Oh,
yeah.
dear, them days.
Remember that, yeah. Yeah.
I did say you'll have to bear with me on my memory tonight because
Yeah.
I was only 11 and 12.
I was there, but
Yes,
I was
mine.
very, very, very drunk at the time. All through the
Was ya?
90s. Yeah. There's about 3 years I can't remember. I'm not joking.
Yeah, that Mark 1 kit was kind of like, it almost had like white paint dashes down it, didn't
Paint
it?
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was horrible. That wasn't
Yeah.
really, yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the Dolly mixture. That was
No.
That was a
That
bad
was
one.
awful.
But I like the away kit. The white away kit with the
white
yellow
away
and blue.
kit.
Yeah, that was lovely. The white away kit was with the
That was
yellow and blue stripes going through. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. That was horrible. We've had,
But
we've
you only
only,
11 or 12 at the time, and you can't remember, Paul.
So what are your favourite memories of, Ian? What are your best memories of playing for Blues?
I think obviously the Leyland Daft, well, bittersweet really. You know, I played in most of the games leading up to the final. And obviously missed out through injury, which was absolute nightmare. Still gutted to this day. But I'll never forget the feeling, although I was disappointed, in the coach going down Wembley Way. And them, 40,000 blue noses, that was incredible sight, and that's something that's going to live with me forever. It's absolutely fantastic. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Goosebump alert.
yeah.
And obviously gaining promotion back into the old second division, which is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, and like I say, that was when I really started going regularly. That sort of season, 1991, 91, 92, towards the end of my school years was when I started going regularly. Yeah. So I do remember.
You had a bit of a problem before that, Paul.
What was that, Nick?
You had a bit of a problem before that. You only started going regularly in 1991.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Very good.
Toilet humour.
Ian, for the Leyland Daft Cup final, was you in the dressing room?
I was before the game, but not during the game. When it came at half time.
Because you missed the final, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was. My groin went. It was so we finished the end of the season. Then there was like a 2-week break before the Leyland Daft, and Lou Macari's training was very physical at the best of times. And with a 2-week break before the final, we trained really hard. We actually, the Saturday after the end of the season, we played West Brom away. I think Bobby Gould was manager, and I don't think his players wanted to be there. We ended up beating them. And then I was in the bath. It was me and Hoppy in the bath, last ones. And Macari came in and said, "Come on, Dodge, Hoppy, we're around the track this afternoon. We're doing laps." And we just laughed, thought, oh, he's having a laugh. But he wasn't. And we had to get dressed, get some kit on. And we were doing 60-second laps around St Andrews. And we had a whole week of training like that, which was very physical. And as a result, my groin just went, which was, obviously a nightmare.
Just had a message from Jerry Gill. He says, Dodge, ask him about the time when I was playing for Forest Green Rovers and he was physio and he allowed me to play on with a fractured eye socket and cheekbone. Don't worry, I'm not going to sue. He's a top man.
That's when players were players.
Yeah. Get on with it.
Yeah, good lad, Jerry. Great lad, great pro.
Yeah.
Did well for the Blues as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, top man he is. Top man. Top man.
And still our highest audience, Chris.
Pardon? Yes,
Still
still
our
our highest audience, out of everybody. Mr. Jerry Gill. Yeah,
I reckon he had all his Bath City fans watching.
he probably did. Yeah, both of them. Marcelo Blue says Harley Dean is not a leader. He's a massive problem for us. Do you agree, Paul?
I mean, I don't want to criticise him too much because I don't think he's played too bad overall this season. And certainly earlier in the season, he looked like he was rediscovering his form. But He's certainly dipped in recent games, and I mean, he's I don't know what he was doing for Wilshire's header, to be honest. The smallest man on the pitch getting a free header like that.
Yeah.
You got how many players stood around him, but for me, Dean was the closest one to him, and he was just in no man's land when he should have been closing him down and not letting him have a free header. But
yeah. Here's the comments of the night, actually, so far. Craig Carlos Booker says, does bad management mean the lads can't go out there and give 110%? Because now, for me, they're not. Spot on.
Such thing, 110%.
Spot on, though.
No.
No, but you can give 100% and 10% in your head.
I'm sure in whatever careers anybody does, I'm sure everyone's worked for somebody that they don't like at some stage in their lives, but you still got to go out there and give it your all, in your job, no matter what you do, to for your own personal pride and also to support your family as well. I would say that's what that comes into it.
Bear in mind, though, Paul, your managing director joined in 5 minutes ago.
Harry Parker says Alex Ferguson in 91 would have been sacked if they hadn't beaten Forest. Martin Edwards wanted him gone.
You're right. Ian, John Smith's asking, did you think that John Gale could score 2 goals like that in the cup final, as we didn't?
No, they were 2 fantastic goals. I mean, when I came to Blues on loan, I think John had just recently signed from Wimbledon, and he's a handful. You wouldn't want to play against him every week, and he was a little bit raw. But to be fair to him, he worked at his game. After every training session, he'd say, "Dodge," he said, "cross me 20 balls. I want to practice me heading, or drive 20 balls on the edge of the box. I want to test me touch." And we did that, and he really improved, and he fully deserved those goals because he worked really hard at his game. To be fair,
but just how good was Simon Sturridge as well, though, Ian? Obviously yourself, Sturridge, and Gleghorn in that front three with obviously John Gale or Trevor Aylott or another striker with Simon Sturridge was just really. I remember you all being my favourite players when I was a kid.
Yeah, Sturridge was great. He was a great footballer. He's only a small lad, but he was muscular, strong. He had pace, and he could get a goal. And I had a great understanding with Clarkey at fullback, but I had a great understanding with Studge as well, because I knew as soon as I got it, I didn't even have to look. I'd flip it round the left back onto the edge of the box. I knew Studge would be there, and he'd control it. And by that time, I was past the left back. He used to lay it to me first time, and I just whipped it in far post with Gleghorn, and it works so well. But he was a great player. He was a great player, Studge.
He was
most definitely.
He was. I used to love watching the crosses coming for Gleghorn at the far post. It was brilliant.
We just that was it. I mean, I used to try and just get half a yard past the left back, and I'd whip a ball in far post. Bearing in mind, he was a big, strong boy, Dreggy, and he had the biggest forehead I've ever seen, and I couldn't miss really. But as a fullback, you wouldn't want him steaming in on the far post. There won't be many fullbacks that will win a header against him. I think the one season he scored something like 22 goals. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
I was going to say, I think most of them were at the far post headers, weren't they?
Yeah.
That was brilliant times watching that.
It was a good time, and it's nice. At the moment, I'm sure that the atmosphere in the dressing room isn't good. It's totally different when you're in a dressing room and you think, bloody hell, you look around in the dressing room, you think we've got everything in the dressing room, and you can go out there and you're expecting to win and dominate games. I mean that's an amazing feeling, and that season when we got promoted, it was fantastic.
I think for me,
there was Mark Sale there then.
Saley was there, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously went on to be in Gary Rowett's coaching team, didn't he, as well with us? But I think for me, Saturday after the game was the sort of lowest I've felt this season. I'm not going to lie, I was quite down on Saturday night after that, and dropping into the bottom three. And I just thought to myself, our club has been so unwell now for 10 years, really.
It has,
and it's about time, we started to recover and go in the right direction. I just think the fans deserve so much better than what we're getting.
Well, I came from Cardiff, and both similar clubs at the time. Languishing in the third division, big stadiums, probably only getting about 3,000 or 4,000 attendance. Struggling at the time, and I think I played in a game. I think it might have been a cup game. I played at fullback, and I think it was Brentford in a cup game, and I got the ball, and I sort of looked up to play it down the line, and there was 2 or 3 fans walking across straight in front of me, and they were waving. We were 3-0 down, by the way, after about 30 minutes. And they were waving their season tickets, and then they threw their season tickets at the bench, and they got marched out. And when there's 4,000 in St Andrews, believe me, you can hear every shout. And that's when you need a thick skin as a footballer. And confidence is everything as a footballer. But it's tough then, and that'll it sorts the men out from the boys. And as I say, you need to, in that dressing room, if it's not good, there's only the players that can get round each other, and say, come on, we've got to, work hard and turn it around.
But Ian, I don't think the only problems we've got though are in the dressing room. I just think, from top to bottom, I don't think anything's right anywhere in the club at the moment at all.
No.
From top to bottom, from the board level all the way down, it's just kind of like rotten to the core, isn't it, at the moment, sadly, and you just hope one day something somewhere is going to, cut us some slack and give us something to look forward to and make us feel better about it. But I know that we've nearly had to lock the gate a couple of times in the past, even before my time. The club nearly completely went, didn't it? But, I don't know about you guys, but it feels to me like we're heading in that direction again. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but it just don't look good, does it?
When you say the club's from top to bottom, please don't include the club photographer in that.
Oh my God, no. I'm talking about people who are making decisions, for the club's well-being, and people in the boardroom, and like we've said already, that the atmosphere is just not looking good between the players and the coaching staff at the moment either.
Do you think it'll make a difference if the crowds were back, Paul?
I think it would, yeah, but it is the same for both teams in every game. I will say that.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of games where it would have made a difference.
Maybe were, wouldn't they?
I don't know. I think this time round, there's no kind of bounce back sort of factor. I think if we did go, there's only one way we'd go, and it'd go down to, just like Coventry, down to League Two.
Ian, can I ask you a question, matey? What was it like for you as a player when you knew that us fans were getting on your back?
Good question.
It was really, really difficult. Like I say, it's somewhere like St Andrews. There's not many people in it. You can hear every shout, and you need to have a thick skin. You get the ball when you're having a bad time, and you look up for one of your teammates, and all of a sudden everybody's marked. You know what I mean? And nobody's nobody's really comfortable wanting the ball, and it's not a very nice position to be in. I've been in that position many a time, but you have to have strength of character, and you have to want the ball, and you have to just work hard and hopefully try and turn the corner. So
when you got these bad times and players were getting on your back, did you ever think of, that's it, I've had enough, I want out? Or do you know of players who thought that, I can't take this, I'm off?
Well, I'm sure many a player, it's have found it hard to deal with. It's not an easy position to be in. It's either sink or swim. Seriously, But you just, like I say, you've got to have a thick skin, and you just got to be confident in your own ability. Even if you're a bit nervy on a Saturday. You've got to still try and demand that ball and try and pass that ball.
Because I can imagine constant barracking is not going to make you a better player, is it?
No. But it's what we were saying earlier.
That's part and parcel of being a footballer.
Yeah.
You got to take the rough times. So you got to take, you certainly take the good times, and it's just strength of character, really. You'll either get through it, or you won't. You'll fall by the wayside.
How do you deal with that when you get home, though? Like, you get home and the game's over and you're back with your family and one thing and another, and the crowd have been on your back you've made a bad mistake, a bad error, or whatever. How do you deal with that? Like when you go, because if Blues lose, I won't speak to anybody for 2 days.
No.
I was exactly the same. If we beat and I didn't have a good game, you'd be mulling about it all weekend, and it would affect your weekend. But you had another 4 weeks training to put it right for the following Saturday, and that's what you look to do. Try and work hard and go out the following Saturday and play well.
Just going back onto the board again, I mean, we've reinstalled Mike Wiseman, haven't we? And we've got a committee now, haven't we? For what do we think of that?
Yeah. It's a bit of a strange one, I think. So we've got an honorary vice president and 2 members of the board. But
right? I must say, most of the commercial team at the club are fantastic. We've got great staff in other areas.
Yeah,
just talking I'm just talking at board level, and it's more at board level, hasn't it? It's been, let's face it, we've had problems at that level for the last 10 years now, haven't we?
Isn't this something that the club have had to do as well? I believe it's something the club have had to do. So yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have
to wait and see. Donohoe sent us a message. Joe Donohoe, the old blues song, "Come wind, rain, sleet or snow,"
Family
Monday night
traditions.
at Tilton Talk Show, and I love it.
Done. Love
But
it.
that's
Like that.
very much, Joe.
I like it. Brian says, ask Ian which players he got on with most at the Blues.
I would say Clarkey, Franey, Dean Peer. I got on with most lads, actually. We had a good dressing room, good atmosphere in the dressing room. I didn't not get on with anybody, actually. We were all pretty good. I would say Clarkey, Franey used to have a few nights out in Solihull with them. Dean Peer, probably.
And you trained at what is now Solihull Moors back then, didn't you?
We trained all over the place. Elmdon, when I first went there, we trained at what's that dog shit park down the bottom of St Andrews. We trained there.
I know what you mean.
Lou Macari's first day, and I think there was a foot of snow, and we were doing laps around there.
Wow.
We trained there. West Midland travel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Travel, yeah.
We trained there. Solihull Borough.
Yeah. That was the old one up by the old up Shirley, wasn't it? That was the
we trained all over.
You was mainly running in Dogmuck, was you? Running around the pitch.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. We also trained at Wast Hills as well. So, but the grass was about that long. It was like rugby pitches.
Yeah.
But,
where did you live? Where did you live in Brummie? Did you live in Solihull or did you live in Brummie?
No, I lived in Hereford, so I used to travel that.
You just commuted, yeah?
I'd either stay up with Franey or Clarkey.
What do you make of the modern game compared to when you played? Obviously, the pitches are like snooker tables now, and obviously you've got VAR now, and you can't really put a challenge in anymore like you used to when you played either, can you?
You know what? I struggle to watch it. You know, I mean, I wasn't a hard player at all, but I think it's taken a lot out of the game. It's a lot of excitement. I used to try and go through the winger as soon as I could. The winger would try and go through me if he could. And a lot of players I played with, there's no chance they could play in the modern game. They would last 5 minutes. Their job was to win the ball and go through the player. And I struggled to watch it. As I say, I watched the Blues Newcastle game, and it was all sort of everybody playing in front of everybody, and it was just it was like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Jason Hughes asked Ian, can you ask Ian what it was like going into the last game of the season, facing relegation as you did against Charlton? Any tips for this team who look like they could be facing the same fate?
Yeah, it's just what I've been saying. It's not a pleasant feeling, but unless you all roll your sleeves up, unless you're working for your mate alongside you and you're working as a team, you're not going to get anything out of any game. You know, it's just hard work. You know, put your foot in, put your head in. You know, if your mate closes down, you've got to close. Everybody's got to close behind him. Otherwise, you know, he's just going to get picked off.
How many managers did you play with at Blues? Was it just the two, was it?
No, three.
Three? Oh, right, okay. And someone's asked, who was your favourite manager playing the Blues?
I think the favourite one was Terry Cooper. So,
Terry.
You know, Terry was great for me because he used to shout. He said, "Dodge, just stay wide." He said, "Don't worry about the winger. Clarkey can deal with the winger. You just stay wide." He said, "If a left back comes, you got to come with him." So it was great for me. I was just out wide, waiting for the ball, and 99% of the times, Clarkey'd win the ball, and you know, we'd be off. You know, and it worked really well. And he wanted us to play. You know, he in the right areas, obviously, but he really encouraged you to play, and it just suited me as a footballer, really.
Yeah, I've also heard he could be quite fierce as well in his days, and like I always thought he was quite a mild mannered type bloke, but apparently he can give it back.
Yeah, he can. No, there was times when he threw the tea about, definitely. Yeah. He's. I have to say, he was probably our best player in the final five.
Yeah.
He must have been about 50 something. I don't know at the time, but what a great left foot! He must have been a hell of a player.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, great player.
And his son obviously played as well, didn't he, Mark?
Mark, yeah.
Mark could play. Yeah, he played. He's good on the ball coops. You know, he's a good passer and a good footballer. Yeah.
And back when you played, I'm guessing it was around the time that Tatey broke in the first team as well, wasn't it? Around those years as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tatey. Tatey was a good player. You know, he played in midfield, but he liked to drift forward, and he read the game well. He was a good footballer, and he could score a goal as well. So, like you say, he was only a young lad. Yeah. Just unfortunate. I played in the game away at Leyton Orient. It was a very clumsy tackle on him, and he ruptured his ACL and did a few other things.
Yeah.
At one stage, you know, didn't think he'd get back, but I remember his determination. You know, he said, "Dodge, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be playing." You know, and fair play to him, he did.
Because I remember Tatey just missed out on Wembley in '91. He had an outside chance of, you know, making the bench or whatever. But it's quite nice that 4 years later, like we spoke to Ricky Otto last week. And it's nice that he actually got the goal, you know, to win the Shield in '95.
Yeah, that must have been a fantastic moment.
You know.
Yeah. Big Blues fan, you know, through and through, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. But,
Steve Portman says, "Thank you guys for the signed shirt that he won last week. Well done, Steve. That's excellent news. It's definitely gone to a good home anyway."
Yep.
And Ray says Jay Clark-Salter can't be happy on loan, not getting a kick either.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Yeah,
especially if he can't get in that defence.
Yeah,
you know, it's got to be worrying him, ain't it? Really, if he's got ambitions to go on and play for Chelsea eventually, then you know he probably needs to move on where he can play. And that's no disrespect to anyone in that defence. It's just that, you know, the reality is we are conceding quite a few goals. You know.
Yeah.
And we just need to cut out the individual schoolboy errors. I mean, you know, playing to the whistle for the one goal and getting goal side for the, you know, I mean, San Jose had to be goal side of their player for that free kick.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't, was he? He just had a tap in. He shouldn't have got that tap in at all. He should have been there first to clear it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is what we mean by lack of characters. I mean, the nearest one probably was Kiftenbelt the other week, but he's gone now. Yeah. And you look around, that's no disrespect to the lads, but you're looking around at the minute, and you just cannot see a warrior or a leader or.
No.
But Mark, what I'm saying here, though, mate, is basics. This is basics. This is you talk.
Oh God, yeah.
Some of the stuff that they're not getting right, you taught this at school.
Yeah.
But
would that be?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Would that be down to the day? Would that be down to the manager? Would that be down to the player?
I'd say the player. The player's concentration levels on the pitch, and you know, not being in the right place at the right time. I mean, Ian, you know more than me. You played obviously at the. You know, at a very high level, and correct me if I'm wrong, obviously.
What are we saying, sorry?
I'm just saying that a lot of the stuff that they've got wrong recently, I know you haven't watched the games, but, you know, San Jose, the one player that we've got, Mikel San Jose, the ball's come over and he had to be goal side of his. You've got to be goal side of your man, haven't you? If you're defending, if you're under pressure, and you've got to play to the whistle. The one goal we conceded against Coventry the other week, Adam Clayton has waited for the ball to go out. He didn't go out, and their player kept it in, and then he's cut it back, and they've scored from it.
Yeah.
It's just basics like that you're taught at school, aren't you? You're taught to play to the whistle, and you're taught to always be goal side of the player if you're under pressure, if you're up against it.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do the basics right, haven't you? You get the basics right. You got to cut out the errors, and like you say, you've got to become difficult to beat. I don't know if you said they're playing 4-2,
3-1,
4-2-3-1. Yeah.
Why is he playing the two in front of the back four? Is that like a shielding thing because he's worried about mistakes?
And that's at home.
Yeah,
and that's the way to Wickham and all.
Yeah, bottom club. Yeah,
but we have. I'll say that though. McLeish did play it, and Rabbit played it, and we have had good times under it as well. We've enjoyed watching that formation in the past, but for some reason at the moment, it's just not working with these players.
But they would at least change the formation if it wasn't working, wouldn't they?
There is that. Yeah, there is that.
And he won't. He's too stubborn. He'll stick to that formation.
I think it's down to players. Systems won't win you anything.
No,
it's the players that win your games.
Desire, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is desire. Yeah. Martin Swinsko says, ask Ian if he played in the Stoke match when the fans rioted. The ref that day was bloody awful.
Oh God, yeah.
I did play in that game. And of course, I drive up from Hereford. I got there a little bit early, and I remember Franey saying it's going to kick off today. I said, "What do you mean it's going to kick off?" He said, "Well, I don't know. There's bad atmosphere," and I didn't think anything of it. Anyway, so the game went ahead, and I think was it Wayne Biggins or Barnes did a sliding tackle on Alan Miller.
Yeah,
and it just all kicked off, and not very pleasant scenes at all, So, and it was a weird feeling because we were sat in the dressing room. I think there was about 10 minutes to go of the game, something like that. And the referee or the official, whoever came out, said, we're going to have to, complete the 10 minutes. And so I think we kicked off and the referee said, look, you just keep it for about 10 passes and then give it to Stoke and they keep it for 10 passes and nobody's going to score. And I thought, he's joking, and we didn't keep it for more than 3 passes all game.
Yeah. I actually, Ian, I must confess, and I've said this many times, but I got home, 53 miles away before that game kicked off again. I was just gone. I was out. Yeah, I don't want to spin on that. I don't want to. No. That's not the game. It's not football. It's it was just. I was actually in the Kop with a Stoke fan, right? His first game at St Andrews. And I looked at him, and you could sense that tension building up. I think Roger Wiseman was the referee at the time.
Mm. Yeah.
You could actually sense that feeling of anger and just hatred. Like you could just feel it in the air. And I looked at him. I said, "You know what, Cass? We're going to go in a minute." He said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Mate, this place is going to explode.
You just know.
It's going to go absolutely mental." And when it did, I just took one look at him. I said, "Out! Come on, get out! Let's go home." I'm gone. And I wrote a letter to Terry Cooper afterwards, and I've still got the copy back. He sent me.
And he wrote back to you?
Yeah, that's man.
Yeah, that's
nice
brilliant.
Man.
That's good. That's good.
Going back to the Leyland Daft, Mark Johnson wants to know: did you enjoy the scenes and celebrations at the council house?
Yeah, fantastic. Again, that's going to stick in my memory. Absolutely packed. And Blues fans, great times. Those type of things just gonna, memories forever.
Yeah, I can remember.
Was that one of your best? Equal, obviously scoring against Brentford at St Andrews as well in the first leg. That must have been a good memory as well for you playing for us, I guess.
That was fantastic. Yeah, it was great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Just to put the ball in the net as well and hear the crowd roar. That was unbelievable. It's fantastic times. And, just to think, that we got a good result and that we had all of a sudden we've got a real chance of going to Wembley. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Going back to Wembley, we were talking beforehand, you missed out on a medal, but did you keep any other mementos or like the suit or anything, or have you got anything at home from that day?
No, definitely not kept that suit. No. Just a few photos really that come up, on websites and that, which is brilliant. Great reminders. It was a bit of sweet for me. Had all my mates come down on the coach from Hereford. They had a great day. It was a fantastic game and fantastic result. And although I didn't play, it was a fantastic experience.
Have you still got your promotion medal or shirt and stuff like that from the year after?
We didn't get a medal.
Oh, right.
We came runners up, so I don't think we got a medal.
Yeah. No. You didn't get a runners up medal, no? All right.
No. That's one thing I've never understood. You don't get anything if you finish second in the league, but you get a trophy if you win the playoffs.
Yeah,
you do now, Paul.
Oh, do you?
You get a runners-up medal now, yeah.
Do you?
Oh, right.
Yeah, because remember when 2007 when Brucey took us straight back up, they had the parade at the council house, and there's like the silver tray, and all of the promotion medals. So that's changed.
Oh, fair enough.
The next time we come second, you'll see.
You'll have air by then.
Yeah. Tim Faraday says, "Hi Dodger, good to see you on here. What was it like playing with Glegorn? I really rated him."
Yeah, Gleggy was a great player. I think he's one of the best blues players that I played with. He had everything. He was big, strong, great footballer, read the game very well. Great left foot. He could score, and as I say, coming in at the far post. He was great with his head as well. Fantastic player.
Oh, just going back to that Stoke game. Lee says Biggins left bleeding stud marks on Alan Miller's thigh. Roger Wiseman was the shambolic referee that day, and he's now in charge of the Referees Association. Any wonders we get no decisions. So there you go. That's why.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Very
there you go.
Yeah.
So, Ian, who would you say had the biggest influence on your career at Blues?
Not the kids one.
I would say my dad had the biggest influence. My dad was an ex-pro. He used to play for Middlesbrough. Played when Cloughie was playing, and then he moved to Hereford and played with Hereford. He was in the squad actually when Hereford beat Newcastle in 1972 in the FA Cup. He was only injured that day, so he didn't play in the game. But at Blues, biggest influence. I would say Terry Cooper.
Yeah. What was
you're
talking about Hereford beating Newcastle in the cup there? There was that guy who got that absolute screamer, weren't there? And everyone ran on the pitch.
That was Radford, wasn't it?
Ronnie Radford, that was it. Yeah. That's an iconic moment, isn't it?
Yeah. I loved watching that. I still like watching that.
Every time the FA Cup comes on telly, they show that one.
All the time, don't they?
Yeah. Some goal that was, some shot that was. And have you got any funny stories you can tell us? Any good pranks or anything, or anything that went on in the dressing room or around the training ground? That's any funny stories that you can tell us?
What we can get away with.
I'd have to speak to my lawyer first. I think. No, but we had a great dressing room. The banter was really good. I used to get stick. As soon as you walked in, it would be Dodger, it would be Spider. They used to take the mickey out of the accent, and I used to go and sit quietly, with Franey. But we just had a great atmosphere in the dressing room. People like Tatey, Matthew Fox, Paul Macefield, real characters, So good times.
Yeah.
But was there any other reason why they called you Dodger, or was it purely your name?
Just my name.
Jammy.
My dad was called
Dodge.
So yeah.
All right. Okay. We believe you.
Run in the family. Yeah.
No, good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul's just said Duke, a target man and plays well with a fast, tricky forward. Cosgrove, a target man, supposedly plays well with a fast, tricky forward. Hogan, a fast, tricky forward, plays well feeding off a target man. What does Karanka do? Plays Hogan on his own and Duke in Cosgrove together. Clueless.
Okay, 1 to 11 time, Paul, please.
Yes.
Yeah, so Ian, we asked you to pick your best 11 players that you played with for us, obviously, during your time with us. So, presume formation first, you're going 4-4-2?
Yeah, 4-4-2.
Not 4-4.
Nice to hear.
I'd laugh if you'd have said 4-2-3-1.
Did you hear that sigh of relief all over the club?
I know, yeah. Far away.
In goals, Martin Thomas.
So,
Yeah.
Right back would be Ian Clarkson,
yeah.
and he'd be my skipper as well. Centre halves, I've got Paul Marden, Trevor Mathewson.
Yeah.
Left back, I've got Johnny Frame. Left side of midfield is Gleghorn. And then inside him, I've got Tatey. And then Dean Peer. And then Louis Donowa.
Oh, what a play. Yeah, I used to love Louis.
And up front, I've got Big John Gale and Simon Sturridge.
Oh, what would we give for that?
What a team.
What would you give for half of that team?
I know.
They'd just
Would you
leave
want
everything.
to
Every one of them players would just leave everything on the pitch, wouldn't they? You know, they're just nothing.
Good, honest players, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just good, honest players, you know.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you know, you've got some game winners in there as well, like people like Gleghorn, Tatey, you know, that could change a game. Studger, Gailey, you know, and Louis Donowa, you know, people talk about pace. You know, he had electric pace.
Yeah.
Next day, he could go past anybody. You know, frightening.
Well, I think we often think, like, with these players, how would these players fare up in today's game? But I think that team would give it a good run.
Definitely.
I think they would.
Yeah,
I think
they would.
They would. Yeah.
You wouldn't have had a problem playing in today's game either, would you, Ian? I don't think.
I'd have loved playing with the pitches as they are today, like billiard board.
Yeah.
You know, fantastic. I remember playing games away from home on a February Tuesday evening, and you're running out, and there's probably about a foot of grass just on the wings, and everything else was just mud. You know, and the groundsman had rolled it, and you're running out, and you can hear your studs on the top of the mud just sinking through. You know, it's starting to freeze, and you know, that's for me. I wanted to play a little bit of football. You know, it was quite hard because, you know, it was going to be a battle. You knew you were going to be in a battle. But today's pitches are amazing. You know, and I used to think that I could, you know, control and pass it. You know, that's what I enjoyed doing. So I'd have loved
Paul,
it.
here's another one for you. Which for you, actually, Ian, but Paul, consider this for next week, yeah? Whoa, he's disappeared again. From Nigel Mann, we need a manager for the 11.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's a good show, yeah.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Nigel be included in the show from here on.
I'm guessing it would be Terry Cooper in that one. Yeah.
Terry Cooper for me.
Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah.
So we'll do that then, Nigel. Good shout. We'll ask our guests to pick a manager and a captain as well. Then, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm just going to read a few comments from YouTube, which I've missed off as well. Yeah. Trick says all them crosses for Gleghorn, beautiful. Keep your chins up. Karankan can pull it all around. Mark Allen says the week before Wembley, the only talk was, will Rodgerson make the final? Love old school wingers. Ian was a cracking old school winger. A great Rodgerson on performance was against Swansea in the Leyland Duff Cup. He was magic that night. And Mark Harlan says a Stoke versus Blues was always like World War III, especially after Lou Macari left. Sad to think we still remember the ref's name. There we go.
Well, I only remember the name because it's Wiseman, and I associated that with Wiseman at the club. And then I only know it was Roger because he Rogered us good and proper.
Yeah.
Ian, did you play
next week's guest?
Sorry, Ian, did you play in that very famous game against Wigan away with the grass bank?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was there on that grass bank, and I've told this story so many times, but you've not heard it. We were just rolling down that grass bank, and we were purposely sliding down it, yeah. And then we all went for okey-cokey around the pitch.
Yeah.
And I got back in the company car. I got back home and I was just like a mud bath. I was still soaking wet when I got home. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. What a great night. What a great night. And, you know, to share that with a fellow Blues fans it was special. You know what I mean? It was just a special night. And again, I know I've said this story, but I've actually got a club badge, a Birmingham City badge, which said Division 2 champions. Was it 1992, was it?
2-3.
Yeah, 1992. I've got a badge in my collection which said that we were champions, and because we drew against Wigan, we weren't.
Good question coming in here from Jason Hughes. He just said, did Ian think that fellow teammate Graham Potter would go on and be a top manager?
No, not at all. No, but he was a good player, you know, young lad, done well for us. But you would never think that he would go on to coach or manage a team.
He's doing well. He's turned it round, hasn't he, at Brighton? And there's another example. You know, he was under a bit of pressure not so long ago, and now he's turning it round. You know, he's got some good results, hasn't he? Exactly, at Liverpool, didn't they?
Yeah. And he was
going to say
a really bad time.
Sorry, Chris. I was going to say, Ian, who was the best? Who was the best player you ever played up against? Who was the hardest defender you ever came up against?
Best hardest defender.
Must have been a few. There must have been a few. You thought.
I would say that the best player I played against would be Scholes.
Paul Scholes.
You know, Paul Scholes.
Yeah, I can imagine he was a handful. Yeah,
I played against Scholesy when I was at Sunderland. It was only a reserve game, and it was absolutely freezing. And you'd think, you know, you won't fancy it tonight, you know. And he was absolutely brilliant. You know, I couldn't get anywhere near him. You know, he'd receive the ball, he'd drop off, and he'd be spraying it all over the place. And then the ball would come to me, and he'd be kicking me. You know, he was dirty as well. Like, you know, his studs would be going all the way through me. You know, and I thought, wow, you know, absolutely different class. And when I was physio at the Blues, Matt Hudson was up with England duty, and we were having a chat in the treatment room, and we said, "Come on in, Matt. Who's the best England player then?" And he said, "You know what?" He said, "After every training session, we always have a five-a-side." And he said, "Whoever side Paul Scholes is playing on, they always win." He said he was different class.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I think didn't Zinedine Zidane famously say when he was asked what it was like to be the best midfielder in the world, he said, "I don't know. Ask Paul Scholes."
And then they both said Dean Peer.
Steve Job wants to know, Ian, how did you end up getting sold to Sunderland for around £100,000? I'm not sure why you were sold.
Yeah, what happened there?
No, nor was I really. I didn't. My contract was coming up, and Terry Cooper didn't really offer me a good contract, you know, and I wondered why. I was struggling a little bit with my groin, and I wanted to stay basically, you know, and but he offered me a contract. It was nowhere near, and then the second one, and the third contract, he actually drove down to Hereford, and there was a knock on my door. And I opened the door, and there's Terry Cooper, and he was giving me the third official contract, which again wasn't you know good enough. It wasn't near what some of the top players were earning, and but he had to deliver it by hand because it was obviously going to a tribunal, and so I signed for Sunderland, and then they sort of fought about the fee. I think it was something like 175 in the end. I went for, but it was a shame because I didn't want to leave the Blues. But you know, Paul Pescalito came to the club. He was playing a little bit in my position as well. Yeah, and he was going out with the managing director, so maybe that.
Yeah.
Was he?
I bet that's swayed it a bit. Yeah.
We never heard that before.
No.
But,
did you travel? Did you travel?
I was disappointed because I didn't want to leave really.
Yeah.
Did you travel to Sunderland from Hereford then as well?
No. Actually, my family are from Durham. So I actually rented a room. I rented a house up in Washington, and it was actually Kevin Dillon's house. ex-Blues playing.
Ex-Blues, yeah.
So yeah, no, I did actually move up that time.
Yeah.
But your man wants to know, Ian, who is the best roofer that you know?
Best what? Roofer.
Yeah, I think he's insinuating that we might need one at St Andrews. Well, he's not insinuating. We do need one, I think, don't we?
So, Chris, do you want to do the who?
Sorry?
Do you want to do the who?
Sorry?
Who?
Right, okay, so every week we have this competition where our audience have to find out who this is. Well, they have to guess who this is.
From now on, though, we're going to give a clue. If we've got a special guest on, the special guest would have played with who the player is that we're trying to get.
Right.
So, Ian, if you know who it is, just tell us the first letter of his surname.
Okay,
Okay,
here we go.
you know who it is when you listen, okay?
Here we go.
They came in 2 years later, so I was almost like the odd one out. You know, I wasn't like one of the senior players. I wasn't one of the kids. And I must admit, I always felt, it sounds strange, but I never really felt as if I was accepted as being...
There we go. That's all you're going to get. No idea, have you, Ian?
No idea, Ian, no?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, does our audience have any idea?
Does anyone know?
I wouldn't have known this one, so no, I wouldn't know this one. It's a good one, this one. It's a good one.
Try it again, Sam.
Okay.
They came in 2 years later, so I was almost like the odd one out. You know, I wasn't like one of the senior players. I wasn't one of the kids. And I must admit, I always felt, it sounds strange, but I never really felt as if I was accepted as being...
Sounds like Jonathan Ross to me.
Okay, so,
Really?
some of the answers. Esther Anson, Dougie Bell, Paul Malden, and Doy. This one could go on for a bit, so here we go.
Yeah.
Karanka
You got
says
no idea,
Nigel.
Ian, no?
No. You any idea, Ian?
No, he's got no, don't know, do you?
No.
No?
Got a clue. No. Brian says, did he come from Villa? We're giving clues out. Didn't know we were giving clues out.
Can do, yeah. If someone gets something right, we can say yeah.
Okay. Jason says Barry White.
Well, we didn't get him from Villa, no?
No.
I don't think so, no.
No. Another clue, please, Paul.
He was a midfielder. Ted McMinn, no.
No, it's not Sid McMinn. No.
Come on, people.
Oh, come on.
Usually better than this.
It's not hard. Well, actually, it is. No one's.
He had a famous song as well.
He had a famous song.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He used to have as a player, he used to have a famous song.
What he sung?
All fans of clubs that he played for sang the same song. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Mark Cooper, Kirbishley, Vinnie Samways.
Nope.
No.
The first clue was, I don't know if everybody's heard the first clue, but he played it in the same era as Ian did.
Yeah.
Do you recognise him, Ian?
No, I don't. I haven't got a clue.
Okay, last time we're asking for it. Here we go.
They came in 2 years later, so I was almost like the odd one out. You know, I wasn't like one of the senior players. I wasn't one of the kids. And I must admit, I always felt, it sounds strange, but I never really felt as if I was accepted.
It's Jonathan Ross.
Give him 5 or 10 more minutes, and then
we'll come back to that. Okay, we'll come back to that. Yeah. I'll just
Luton up next.
Oh yes, before we go to that, can I just say happy birthday to our friend Pauline Newman?
Pauline Newman. Who?
Yeah. I think she's very, very old. So.
Oh dear.
Well,
I think your windows are very, very broken.
Have some comments.
No, I think she's quite old. She won't mind me saying.
Ian Atkins,
she's not as old as Linda, though.
No, not Ian Atkins. Happy birthday, Pauline, by the way.
Yeah, have a good
birthday, Pauline.
Yeah.
Kenny Lowe.
No.
Ian Atkins. It isn't Ian Atkins, no.
Trevor Aylott.
No.
Oh.
Jasper Carrott. No.
Got the right squad though with Trevor Aylott.
Yeah. Yeah. Adam says if we lose the next 2 games, we're definitely doomed. Definitely, he says. Definitely doomed.
Well, not mathematically, but I know what he means. It's just going to get worse and worse.
These things either, is it?
No. Is there 18 games left?
18, 54 points.
There's a lot
Dean
of
Peer,
Could win the league.
not Dean Peer, no.
Marsden, Nicky Butt,
No,
Mark Cooper.
Richie Moran.
no,
Right, okay, blimey.
Matthewson.
no.
Well, okay. Are you sure he played in the in that era?
Ian
Yeah, we had him in the 1990-91 season.
Right. Okay.
And
Handyside.
he made 17 appearances in that season for the first one.
What clue? That's a biggie clue.
That's a massive.
Vince Overson.
No.
Martin
Not
Hicks.
Overson. Eh?
Martin Hicks.
No.
Okay,
Well,
we'll keep an eye on that. Okay.
And it's not Bo Brummie.
No. Or Ricky Otto.
Kevin Drinkle, Dave. No, not Kevin Drinkle. That's a good guess, though.
Or a Spliff.
Oh, that's a blast.
It is a bit of an obscene one, like a Kevin, one you wouldn't think of that would spring to mind straight away from that squad.
Oh, right, okay.
Phil Robinson.
No.
Steve Wigley.
No.
Keep guessing, people. Keep guessing.
Okay.
So it's Luton Saturday then, Paul. What's your thoughts on this one?
Well, you like to think that we can turn a corner, especially at home, and it's got to come sooner rather than later, surely. But it's just the way we're playing that's worrying me, Nick. Especially at home. But performances in the last couple of home games have been better, to be fair, and I just hope that we can win, and I'll go for 2-1 to us.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay. Oh, butting in, right, Mark. I'll come to you in a second.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve Portman. A very, 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 very happy 100th birthday to the lovely Lillian, who is at Heartlands Nursing Home this Saturday. Hope you all sent her a card. I certainly did.
Yeah.
And she's just going to have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of houses.
I listened to it on WN. Apparently, she had over 3,000
already.
Yeah. That's mad, isn't it? That's mental.
Her birthday Saturday, is it?
I'm not sure. I thought
13th, the 13th. Yes, Saturday,
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah. Pete Taylor's got it. Pete Taylor's got it. He's put Downs. Yeah, it's Greg Downs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And obviously
I wouldn't have got
song. And the famous. Sorry, Nick.
I wouldn't have got
that. No.
And the famous song was obviously "He's Got Nowhere, But We Don't Care." Everyone used to sing that. Mr. Sheen.
It's Paul.
And the ironry.
Do you remember him now, Ian? Yeah.
Greg Downs, yeah. He came to manage Hereford.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And I played against him as well. He played for Coventry, so. Did he play in the FA Cup final?
Did, yeah. FA Cup winner, yeah.
87 for Coventry, yeah.
Cov, yeah, of course.
Well, that following season, when they after they won the FA Cup, they come down to Edgar Street, and we beat them actually. And I remember John Sillett wasn't very happy, and you could hear him crashing the door, saying, "Right, the party's over now." Yeah. So,
so where did you go after Sunderland, Ian?
I actually went back to Cardiff.
Right.
And the Kumar brothers had bought Cardiff.
Yes, I remember they went down there, didn't they? Yeah.
Bob was there as well.
Yeah.
So teamed up with them again.
Are we going to give Pete Taylor a prize for getting that, Chris?
I'll get a hat to him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Drop your address to Chris, mate, and we'll get your hat out to you.
I've probably got his details.
Have you seen Tilton Talk Messenger, Chris Brown, please?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Game.
Okay. Right. So I've got to ask Ian for 3 numbers from. What are the numbers I've got to ask for him? Okay. Ian, can you just choose 3 numbers between 1 and 150? Quite a few to choose from there. Just 3 random numbers, Ian.
Okay, so 7, 101, 120.
7, 101, 120. Okay. This is one of the competitions we've done. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
No.
I'm getting stick here, by the way, because I got his position wrong. I thought he was a midfielder, but he's a left back, wasn't he? Greg Downs.
Greg Downs left back, yeah.
I thought he was a central midfielder. That's just me trying to think I was right.
Yeah, he's left back.
Paul, you think you know everything, Paul.
I know,
well,
yeah.
I'm telling you now, you don't.
I know I don't.
He was only 11 or 12 at the time, Chris.
I know. And I had hair as well. I was in shock.
Martin Swinsko's asking, can you ask Ian what you think of players going to the ground so easily? And would you have done the same to win a penalty or to get somebody sent off?
Oh, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I find the game hard, to watch. When people are, feigning injury, it's just not the sort of game. When I played, it was get your foot in. To get sent off, you had to, take someone's leg off. But these days you can get sent off for hardly anything. And I certainly never dived, to get a free kick or a penalty. That wasn't part of the game when I was playing.
That definitely deserves the prize anyway, even more for Pete Taylor, didn't it? Because I even said he was a midfielder, and he still got it right.
Oh dear! I think we need to bring.
Well, John Smith just said that I go to AK School of Player Positions. I think I talk a rank. I'm getting pelters here now.
Ball, book and candle. Steve Portman won the signed ball, Linda Ensor signed book, and Pauline Williams the candle. So well done to all.
Okay, good stuff.
Well done.
Good stuff. And I believe, Nick, we've got some money as well that's gone off this week to the Jeff Horsfield Foundation as well.
Lovely. If Craig could take us on that, or
I think we got £275
raised,
has gone off, and I think it's been matched as well. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So Ian, what are you doing nowadays? Then are you still involved in football in any way, or are you working in any other areas?
No, I'm not involved with football now. I'm a physiotherapist now, so I just work from the leisure centre in Hereford. So just private physio. Unfortunately, the leisure centre's been closed. It's there is a little opportunity now because I think the managers have got to go in there 3 days a week, so I can actually get in and start to see some patients now. So so it's less boredom now for me, but at least I can start to earn a bit of money.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Well, it's come that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen. There's just 15 minutes show to go, and this week's word association is going to be vegetables and football. Vegetables and football. Off you go. You've got 15 minutes. Okay, a lot of people talking about relegation, new owners, and things. Listen, if we get relegated, that could be doomsday for Birmingham City Football Club. Believe me.
I don't know. It's been said before, hasn't it? I mean, it was said before when we went down.
It could be. It could be the beginning of the rebuild as well, though, couldn't it?
It could be. Yeah.
Which I think is what's needed.
I'm going to start you off tonight with Paul Tater. We've got Jasper Carrot coming already off 3.
Yeah. Robbie Cabbage.
Robbie Cabbage.
That's up there. Terry Vegetables.
We do this every week, Ian. Nick does this every week, and our viewers have to try and get like a word association with something with footballers.
It's one of those you either hate it or love it segments.
Asparagus Poirier.
What about Ollie P instead of Ollie?
Ollie P will do, yeah.
What about Spud Brocken?
Anthony Garvey's just said Greg Downs actually played sweeper a few times for us as well.
What was that?
The terraces. I was trying to say.
I didn't understand what was the difference between a sweeper and a midfielder when I was 11.
Well, it just goes to show you don't know everything. me and Nick knew that, didn't we, Nick?
Yeah. We've got Stu Pierce, Wayne Sproutlidge off a couple of people, Ken Leake.
What about Lee Parsley?
Yeah, Lee Parsley. Yeah, Pete Lee Parsley. Yeah.
Lee Parsley will do for me. It's not quite a vegetable; it's a herb.
I think I quite like the.
Sorry.
Nicola Broccoli Madsen. I knew that one was going to come out. Broccoli Madsen.
Idiots.
Oh dear.
Jeff Horseradish.
Oh, Mr. Potato Head from Brucey.
So anyway, Nick, we got some predictions, and we only did Paul. We didn't.
We only did Paul. Yes.
Yeah,
So
you
let's
didn't
get
ask anybody else because you couldn't be bothered.
Mark, go.
Go on, Mark.
I can't jump in. I think we're going to sneak a win. I think we're going to win 1-0.
Okay, I'm going to go 2-0. Chris?
I can't see a win, so I'm going to go... No, can't see any goal. I'll go for a 0-0. How about that? Yeah.
0-0. What do you reckon, Ian?
Go on, Ian.
I go 1-0.
1-0 Blues, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to win at some junction, surely.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
It's got to come.
I don't care if we play absolutely terrible and everybody gets 2 out of 10 and it comes off, Djukovic's backside in the 92nd minute. Honestly, we win 1-0. Doesn't matter to me. Just need them 3 points on the board.
Need the win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But,
Okay, we've got a few more in. Dan Cauliflower.
So, Ian, who were the best lads in the squad to go out for a night out? Then who did you have the best nights out with in your time at Blues?
Well, it was always Franey and Clarkey, Dean Peer. We'd always see Hoppy out somewhere, and Tatey.
Yeah, he's probably still out there, Hoppy now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it back then? Like, go on, sorry.
Sorry?
No, go on, sorry.
I'm just saying, Franey and Clarkey were like Solihull. So we were always having a few drinks around there, which was brilliant. Rosie O'Brien's, I think that's still open. But,
no, that was in Solihull, wasn't it? Yeah, Rosie's.
Yeah, it closed.
It closed now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Masula more recently, but it closed.
Yeah. I can remember I used to go. Our cleaning company used to go into Rosie's to clean the carpets. And you couldn't clean it with a conventional carpet cleaner because it was like this. So you cleaned it with a floor buffer, with a black scouring pad on. That's how you cleaned the carpet because it was rock solid with the beer that was spilt on it. There you go, little story for you.
Yeah.
Rosie
We've got a few more coming in. The loveliest Ken Leake. We've got David Gherkin. Crikey, there's quite a lot. You wouldn't think anybody think of vegetables and footballers, would you?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I was going to ask if you went uptown as well, like Liberties and Broad Street and that in them days as well. Yeah.
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 It was
We've got Harley Bean. Brian Johnson says Luton to win 2-1. Ray's gone 3-1 to Luton. Blues 3-1. Sorry. We've got Malcolm Sage from Gregory. Thanks, buddy. Steve Cabbage Bruce. John Cale. Ooh, quite like that one. Nigel Squashy. Yeah, 2-0 to Blues from Paul McCartney. Paul Rootbarb. Check and Pak Choi. Oh, dear me. We're doomed. We're all doomed, says Chris. 3-1.
I think some of one of the clubs was the Dome as well. That used to be one of those clubs.
Oh, I was in there. I was in there all the time. Yeah. But this is early 90s, though, isn't it? It would have been there then, wouldn't it? Yeah, it was there then, wasn't it? The Dome.
And what's around the corner as well? You used to call it Grab a Granny, wasn't it? Was that name?
It is my favourite so far.
I never used to go. I just used to know the name.
Goal. 3-1 to Luton, says Brenda. 3-1 Blues, says Adam. 2-1 says Wendy. If Luton score, they win, says Brett.
Lee Mailing says Jack Grealish. He's a different type of vegetable. 6-0. 6-0 says Dave Twine.
Auntie Linda's not said 6-0 tonight, has she?
No. She hasn't got up here. When you get to her age, you need lots of sleep. And same as Pauline, apparently. She needs lots of sleep. So, when you get to that age. Paul Cabbage up.
Adrian Harris is going 4-0 to Blues. Hogan to get 3.
Yeah, who's the best captain you ever played for?
Best captain? Yeah.
Who was the captain round about your time? Who was it? Who was the captain in the cup final?
Overson, wasn't it?
Was it Overson?
Or wasn't it Frame? I thought it was Frame.
Was it Friday? Was it Friday?
No, it was Clarkson. Ian Clarkson, wasn't it?
Of course, yeah. Of course,
Clarky,
youngest
of course it was, yeah.
Clarky, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. We've had him on as well. He's talked about it.
And then it was.
Clarky was class.
With David Rennie the year after. Yeah. David Rennie after that.
Here's a great prediction from Martin Swinscope. He's going for a 0-0. No, 2 shrugs off the shoulders, 6 scribbles in his notepad.
Ooh.
Was he the best captain you played with then, would you say, Ian Clarkson?
Clarky. Yeah. I would say Clarky, yeah, definitely one of them. As a lad at Hereford, Mel Pedgick. He was brilliant.
Pedgick? That rings a bell. Yeah, rings a bell.
I mean, here's the very famous Bo making a weekly appearance. Say hello to the people. Hello, people.
Put me down. Christ.
Here's my winner of the week. It's John Smith with Matt Letizia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Who was your captain at Cardiff and Sunderland?
Well, I captained Cardiff at one stage, which was great. At Sunderland, it was Kevin Ball. He was a great captain as well. But Ball, he was a leader. He's the type of person that Birmingham need in their dressing room right now. He was unbelievable. He would sort it out in himself. Never mind the manager. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you apparently busy compiling a video? Thanks for that, Steve.
Oh, right, okay. It's probably a porno video as well.
Alan Watton saying that Vince Oberson was the captain in the final in the Land and Daft.
I hope she gets this on catch up.
Apparently, it was Overson.
I thought it was Overson, to be fair.
Okay, we bow down to your superior knowledge, Mark.
You don't have to do that. But,
in fact, next week, where you are on the camera now, I'm going to put you in Paul's place, so you're going to swap over. You get onto the top floor.
You've replaced me now as all the knowledge, with knowing everything. Now I've got
but you was only 11, Paul.
Yeah, I know. I was only 11.
I was 15 then.
In fact, we're going to give the robe to Paul.
This is getting weird now.
Oh dear. Nigel's gone.
Chris, how are we doing in those?
Sorry?
Shares competitions, how are we doing in those?
Shares competitions, yes. Don't forget, if you want to share the stream, you've got a chance of going into the draw where you could win goodies.
And what day are you doing the draws on nowadays?
I'm about 4 weeks behind, so I'll probably do one day where I'll do 4 or 5 draws.
That'll be interesting, won't it?
Yeah.
You'll be on. What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. In fact, I'll do it this Friday. There you go.
Can I just say it doesn't get any easier missing the games, does it? I mean, as every week goes by, I know we're bad, but just dying to get down there again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sort of like, I know I shouldn't be, but I can't wait for the season to end. I mean, that's strange.
I get that.
I shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
I want it over with. Are we going to go down? Are we going to stay up? Are we going to go bump? Is the roof going to fall in? I just want it all.
Aren't we just all sick to the back teeth for this now, though?
Yeah.
Like, flirting with relegation. Eventually, you play with fire, you get burnt, don't you?
Yeah.
Eventually, so I'm just sick to death of it now. Every season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I mean, teams like Pompey thought they'd come back, and it hasn't happened. So it is a worry.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, look at Sunderland now. Look at Sunderland there now. How long have they been trying to get out of League One now? Is it 3 seasons? Yeah. Is this their 3rd season or 4th season
now? Yeah.
This is their 4th season, yeah. Must be.
Yeah.
A lovely thanks to the lovely Linda Magna, just sent in 50 stars. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
Can I
just... Many stars as you would.
Go on, Mark.
I was going to ask Ian, who did you support growing up? Were you a Sunderland fan growing up?
Good question.
No, I did support Sunderland, the 1973 FA Cup final.
Yeah, Leeds.
But I supported Leicester as well, Leicester City.
Oh, okay.
Only because my dad's friend was friendly with Jock Wallace.
Right, okay.
Jock Wallace used to play in goals for Hereford when my dad was playing. And obviously they had that good cup run in the FA Cup. And they went to the semi-finals, got beat by Tottenham. and we sort of followed them as well. So I was sort of following Leicester City at the time.
Yeah. And who was your footballing hero growing up?
Kevin Keegan.
Yeah.
You know, he was a fantastic player.
Yeah.
It was good to play in the Blues game against Newcastle when he was manager. We drew 2-2 up there. And,
I remember that, yeah. Remember that. We were 2-0 up, weren't
we? 2-0 up at half time. I actually scored a header, which was very rare for me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Beresford was a left back. He should have kicked my head off, but he didn't, and I managed to put it in.
What was your goal tally?
My goal tally for the Blues, I think it was about 13.
Oh right, okay.
Hang on, Ian. 13 goals in 88 games, according to Wikipedia. So yeah.
Oh right, okay. Well done.
Steve Jobs says, thanks to Ian tonight. You're a quality footballer. I enjoyed watching immensely. Dave Twine's gone for Martin Cucumber.
Yeah, I like that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Gainer's gone for Ollie Leake. Craig Courtney, my favourite. Who's my favourite person of all time?
Razor Burdock, isn't it?
Razor Burdock.
Yeah. I quite like that one, though. Marrow Donner.
Maradona.
Very clever, very clever.
Dave Twine wishes we were in a big nightmare. Dave, we have been for the last 11 years, mate.
Yeah.
John Smith says we could be playing Accrington, Stanley and Fleetwood next season.
Well, I mean, you know.
Oh, dear me.
Who knows?
Ian,
who knows?
To be a Blues fan, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Only us.
Yeah.
Only us. Yeah.
Well, I think the time has come, Nick.
It certainly has.
Where does the time go every week?
It's absolutely flown by again.
Again.
Every week, yeah.
Again, yeah.
Well.
Oh, yeah,
Steve Morrow. He was the one that broke his arm at Arsenal in the FA Cup.
Celebrating, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Steve Morrow.
Well, he wasn't celebrating. The guy who chucked him in the air was.
With Tony Adams, wasn't it?
We've got to end. We've got to end the show on John Gale's interview after that Leyland Daft final, haven't we? When he said that was for me bubblers.
The bubblers, yeah.
And
you
also,
that,
he said at the end of that interview, right? At least we got the 3 points. He did. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Tilton Talk Show. A Monday night with nothing great to shout about. Unfortunately, not for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And just to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that tonight's show is dedicated to Jessica Pardo, who passed away on Saturday, 23rd of January, following a short battle with that rare and aggressive form of brain cancer. And she was just 18 years old. This show, Jessica, is dedicated not only to you, but also to all your family and your friends. And from all of us at the Tilton Talk Show, and I'm sure the wider Birmingham City supporters, we're genuinely so sorry and really heartbroken at that news. It was horrible.
Terrible.
But we've got to kind of finish on a high note if we can. After that kind of news, Brian Johnson says, cheers, Ian. Cracking show as always, boys, from Michael Woods. Thanks all. Keep right on, from Mark Johnson. The star of our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only. And you can sign us off tonight. Thanks, Mark Adams. Thanks, Paul Hipkiss. Thanks, Mrs. Brown. And from myself, good night. God bless. Take care. Keep right on. Jason Hughes, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Jessica. God bless Jessica, from Michael Woods. Wow. Ian, the final minute is all yours.
Keep right on.
Yeah, keep right on. I'd like to, look for 3 points on Saturday. Fingers crossed. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to all the Blues fans that made my time at the Blues very memorable. And hopefully I can get up there and sample the atmosphere again pretty soon.
Ian Rodgerson, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute gentleman. Bless you. Thank you for giving your time up. And thank you for all the memories. We know you didn't play in that cup final, but wow, what a time! What a time to be a Birmingham City fan! What a time to be a Blue Nose! What a time that was! Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Chris. And from myself, good night. God bless, and always keep right on.